So I would attempt to break the operations of ECG, give a little education to our customers, and how these things works and what could be the possible challenges that may come. But before then, I would also want to say that Ashanti ECG has metamorphosed into, the operations have changed a little bit. If you would remember, we used to be Ashanti East and West. Then we moved to Ashanti SBU, where we had our own director and everything, with some of us also playing various roles. Now, I used to be the general manager for network projects, and that involves developing and maintaining the network. So I know the network of Ashanti region.
So for those of you who go out there and want to buy, credits, and they say the system is down, the network is not working, maybe you want to do that through Momo purchases or use the app and you have challenges. He's a man. Ask him questions. Yeah. Our WhatsApp number is 055-1111-995. So take it away. We're listening.
David, I would want to make a correction there.
Okay, what's the correction?
The network that I'm talking about is the hardware network of ECG and not the ICT bit of it. Okay, so that's it.
But at least you can still have answers for us when the questions come. Yeah.
So, in order to also improve on our operations and have a better interaction with our customers, we decided to disbundle the SBU and then create about four different operational regions. We have the sub-transmission region that would deal with the upstream of power. We'll come to that. And then we have 3 different operational regions. That is Ashanti South, Ashanti East, and then Ashanti West. Ashanti West is headed by Mr. Maxwell Dapa. And then Ashanti East is Engineer Mark Asumeni Wiafi. And then, yours truly is...
Ashanti South, huh?
Yes, responsible for Ashanti South.
So when we say Ashanti South, which areas falls on the South?
So let me come in and break the operations into the various districts. For Ashanti South, you have Asukwa, then you have Bekwai, New Edubiase, Obuase, Dunkwa, and Manson-Kwanta.
Okay, that's the South.
That's the South.
Okay.
For East, you have, let me come from the top, we have Konongo, you have Efiduase, you have Mampong, you have Ejuso, you have Menshia, Eija, and then Kwabre.
So we are at Eija. Okay.
Yes, we are Eija. So that's Ashanti East is responsible for your operations. And then when we go into Ashanti West, we have Bibiani, which used to be part of Western region. ECG does not move in the regional, we have our own regions carved out. It used to be part of Western region, but now we've carved it out and then we brought it into Ashanti West. So Ashanti West is Bibiani, Ibuakwa, Swami, Denyame, Edum, Kokobing, Ahinsan, and then one more. So that is basically the operations
the
now.
breakdown.
The breakdown.
Okay. All right.
Yes. Okay, so per our mandate as ECG, we are responsible for providing reliable power supply to our customers. Safe and reliable power supply. I would attempt to break reliability into 3 points where, pardon me, if draw my attention if I'm being a bit too technical, so that I speak to the understanding of my customers. Okay, so we have what we call availability, the power being available. Without the power being available, we'll not be able to have this conversation. Without the power being available, nobody would be able to use electricity. So availability, the power needs to be available.
And for it to be available, it comes from Gridco. Or from where?
From it's a breakdown from the producer to Gridco and then to ECG.
So VRA, Gridco, ECG.
Yes. So let's say the IPPs, the power independent power producers, inclusive to the state-owned power producers. So then we have an interface called a bulk supply point. Now the bulk supply point is where we have an interface between ECG and then Gridco. And then from there we go to our various major substations that are basically hidden from the customers, and then you have the individual transformers that you have. So that is the transformation, So, but having availability simply means that minimizing outage. Minimizing outage.
Okay.
Or not having the outage at all.
At all, okay.
Okay. So let's put that one aside. We'll come back to it.
But so, in terms of the availability,
yes.
let me just chip in this question before we go any further. When it comes to quantum, the amount of megawatts that Ashanti needs.
I am coming to that.
Okay.
I am coming to that. Okay. And that's why I'm saying that I'm breaking it into reliability into three.
Okay.
So there's the availability bit where the power must be available. So it means that there shouldn't be any break from wherever it is coming from. So power is continuous. So it must be, it must come from the producer. It will get to GridCo. It should get to ECG where we transform it into different voltage levels, and then we can serve our customers. That's availability. Then we come to what we call adequacy. Adequacy is what you being, a little bit into energy would call capacity.
Okay.
Where the megawatts and all that is the capacity bit. Then we would come to quality, the quality of it, the voltage levels,
whether low
or high, whether it's able to, and then I would want to also educate my customers a little bit. What ordinarily we would call low current is actually low voltage. Okay, so the current is what you draw from the system, and then the voltage is what we provide. So that is the reliability bit. And all of these 3 points of reliability come together to make sure that the customer is actually served and served well. Okay, so when we come to reliability and we come to availability, now availability in its sense simply means that keeping the lights on. Now keeping the lights on has its own issues. So the preparedness of ECG when it comes to these matters is that, one, we need to be able to identify any form of hazard and eliminate the hazard to prevent the outage in the first place. And then also to be ready to, bring the power back on in the event of any outage. So it means that there should be a system that is in place to make sure that, one, we may either maintain or fix the problem when it comes in.
Okay.
So the challenges that may come also would include, some are external, and these external could include GridCo outages as well. And outages does not necessarily mean that there's an adequacy or capacity issue. So there could be technical problems that may come in that may prevent our customers from having that continuous supply that they require. So those are the issues. Then we'll come to the capacity. The capacity is where we take from GridCo through all the independent power producers and all the state-owned producing companies and all that. In the past few days, we haven't had, any major GridCo outage. There's been 1 or 2 issues that we've had, but I wouldn't say that we've had any major GridCo outage that suggests that it's going to be a sustained issue throughout the festivities. ECG is always ready every point in time to provide that level of reliability to our customers. And when it even comes to the festivities, we even do more and to make sure that, that Christmas is actually enjoyed. So in a nutshell, that is reliability, and that is what we are enjoying to do.
So, as we speak, and listeners, we are streaming on YouTube.